Are you a specimen collector for drug testing? Welcome back to our series on the drug testing collection process. In our previous video, we covered step 1 of the process, step 1 being the administrative section of the custody and control form that you fill out as you begin the collection process. Today's video, we're going to cover steps 2 and steps 3. And that's basically when you receive the urine and you start going through the process of getting it ready to send to the lab. Stay tuned. Alrighty, we're back to do step 2 and step 3 of the collection process. Typically, this is a DOT collection, which this one is. Could also be a non-DOT collection. And I have my donor, Tom, with me. He has just gotten back from the bathroom and brought his urine. And we've walked from the bathroom back over here to our work area. And as Tom came out of the bathroom, I did double check it to make sure it was still secure the way it was when he first went in there. We made sure he didn't wash his hands or flush the toilet. We'll get to that after we finish up the collection process, Tom. And as you gave me the specimen and I carried it back, I did check the temperature. It is in temperature range, so that's a good thing. We do have sufficient volume, which we check. We check the color, which looks good. And also, if there was any abnormal smell, we would smell it and be able to take appropriate action there. But in this case, everything looks good. So when I get my specimen back, typically what I want to do is I want to immediately get it sealed up into my specimen bottles. So I open up my A bottle. I'm going to pour 30 milliliters of specimen into the A bottle. And I'm going to make sure that that's closed up nice and tight. And I'm going to pour 15 milliliters or more into my B bottle. We'll see how we get with that. So we got a little bit more than 15. That works out. And then we won't have to discard any. We can just throw that extra cup away. And then at this point, Tom, as we talked about when we did step 1, there's a unique specimen ID number on the form, and that corresponds to the same unique specimen ID numbers on the labels, A and B, if you can agree with that.
I do.
So I'm going to look at the A label first, which goes over the specimen bottle with the best specimen in it. And I always want to be careful and peel these labels off very carefully so that they don't rip or curl up. I'm going to put the A label right over the bottle right there. And as the collector, I'm going to go ahead and date the label. And I'm going to ask my donor to initial it. I know that's a little awkward, but I like to keep control of the bottle there. So we got that one labeled up. We're going to peel off the second label. Sometimes that one's a little tougher to get off, so you really got to be careful. And I like to tell collectors to use 2 hands. When you peel out the label, get your second hand ready to grab it so it doesn't curl up. We're going to put the B label over the B bottle with at least 15 milliliters. Make sure the label's on there good. As the collector, I'm going to go ahead and date. And I'm going to ask my donor to go ahead and initial. So now I got my bottle sealed up. That's the first thing that I want to do when I come out of the collection room and I've got an open cup of urine, because I don't want it to spill and I wanted to get it secure. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in a plastic bag, this white absorbent material. I'm going to go ahead and put both bottles in there and just kind of put this bag to the side. Now I'm going to go back to my form. So I never, as a collector, I don't want to be going to urine to my form to urine. I want to work with the urine, and then I want to work on the form. So I'm in step 2. I did have a temperature and range. I do have a split collection. There are other boxes here, and I want to point out that you always want to go across the form and check any boxes that are appropriate. One of them is none provided. Well, we have urine, so we don't check that box. And the other one is observed. We did not do an observed collection, so we do not check that box. But both of those boxes, they say enter remark. So if there's none provided, you need a remark to explain that. And if it's observed, you need a remark to explain why you did observed. Now, the next line here is the remarks line. And as a collector, I always leave this blank until the very end. At the very end, if there's any remarks, I can fill them in. So when do you fill in remarks? You fill in remarks when anything out of the ordinary occurred. If everything goes smoothly, nothing out of the ordinary, it's a really good, perfect collection, I tell collectors to write the word none under the remarks. This way, you're always writing something and you don't forget to write something. So if there's no remarks, write none. If there are remarks, write them in. There's not a lot of room there, so you have to write small and neatly. But if necessary, you can write see attached, and you can include a separate piece of paper with additional notes. And that might include your shy bladder log. That might include just a typed up sheet of paper, because maybe the whole collection went haywire and there's lots of notes to report on. So we skip the remarks. We come back to that at the end. Step 3 is we have fixed the bottle seals to the bottles, which we've done. And also we've dated the bottles, and the donor has initialed those bottle seals. So the next instruction says, donor completes step 5 on copy 2 MRO. So we've done step 1, we've done step 2, we've done step 3. DOT counts funny on these custody and control forms. They count 1, 2, 3, 5, 4. And we're going to hold off on step 5 and then also on step 4 as we continue on this video series to show you short clips of the collection process. So Tom, we'll have you back to finish up steps 5 and steps 4. And I hope that you have taken a few minutes here to really learn how to correctly do steps 2 and 3 of the specimen collection process. Thank you, Joe Reilly, National Drug Screening. Always visit our website for more information, www.nationaldrugscreening.com.